Hello everybody, my name is Taya and 2 years ago I shaved my head. In this video I will be reviewing how that affected me both physically and mentally, as well as why I decided to do it and what I learned from it. And I will be including my secret method for how I got my hair to grow this long in just 2 years afterwards, and it be the healthiest my hair has ever been. So let's get into the video. A couple of years ago, maybe around 2019, I remember there was a huge trend on TikTok where all of these young people, and probably older people as well, were buzz cutting their heads. And at the time, I believe I was in high school and I just didn't really feel ready to do that, but I definitely resonated a lot with what everybody was saying. A lot of them talking about beauty expectations and freeing yourself and just doing something different, more creative, less responsibility, less products, less hassle to take care of your hair, and giving your hair time to reset, as well as this whole identification with our hair, which is often seen as such an important thing, especially for women, which makes sense because it is something that is often associated with beauty and how women look. But it's also equally as powerful to experience something different and step into another sort of power, which you are more in touch with when you're not as reliant on the specific feminine beauty that your hair provides. It's like a way to connect with more innocence or more fierceness, which I definitely experienced through my personal journey with really short hair. One day in August of 2022, I decided to take this step and went from a little bit shorter than this length of hair to fully getting a really short buzz cut. It wasn't completely shaved off, but it was really close to it. And I remember the first day that this happened, I went into a grocery store and I was wearing the same outfit as my boyfriend at the time, who also had a buzz cut. And this old man was in the grocery store just looking at us, so confused about what was going on, because we looked like two twins with different colored hair, but I was a woman, and he just seemed so baffled by the fact that I was a woman with short hair. Like, it wasn't something his mind could even understand, which was pretty entertaining. I will also clarify that one of the reasons I didn't cut my hair really short when I was younger was because I lived in a bigger town with a lot of people that I knew from school, and I was honestly just kind of scared to do this around people that I knew because I was worried about what people would think of me. But I ended up later moving to a little village in France where nobody really knew me. There were only old people around, and at that point I was like, this is the perfect time for me to do this, because I might as well do it now when I don't care about these strangers that don't know anything about me. And honestly, just do it at any time, but if there is a specific phase in your life or a specific environment where it may feel easier, jump on that opportunity. Because it's so easy to give reasons to ourselves why we shouldn't do something, but it can really benefit you in a lot of ways. Shortly after I did shave it, I also ended up going to a really big city in Palma, and which is located in Mallorca, and there were a lot of people around, and walking around with a shaved head was definitely quite intimidating at first, because it was this huge new identity for me, and it was so wildly different from how I'm used to being seen. And the way people see you really impacts your life so deeply. And sometimes you don't realize it, or even most of the time you don't realize it until you choose to do something different. I was so nervous to be in a bigger city, but truly it was almost less scary than being in a small town, because people are more used to different looks in the city. And I got that dirty, funny look from a guy in the grocery store in the middle of nowhere, because they're not used to people who behave differently. But in a city, people get more exposure to different types of people. So oddly, you end up blending in better than if you were in a small town. So if it is something that you're considering, really don't consider the fact that you're living in a big city and a lot of people will see you as a negative aspect. You might actually feel far more comfortable in that setting than another one. The thing that I noticed immediately when I shaved my hair and was the biggest change for me was how I saw myself and how other people saw me. Throughout my life, I have always experienced a sort of like pretty privileged, and I have always experienced the fact that most people find me attractive. And that can happen through subtle things such as noticing that people look my direction when I'm walking in the city, or just noticing people being extra nice to me or going the extra mile for me. And sometimes it's just a subtle energetic thing that I feel that I can pick up on. 2 times in my life, I have felt this change significantly. One time was a similar situation when I was younger. I was about 13 and I went through a bit of an emo phase, and I chopped off all my hair and gave myself super dramatic bangs and started wearing fake glasses and a scarf, and it was really funny and also impactful to go from such a set and specific image where you were more socially accepted and more liked by people, because people are so consciously and unconsciously affected by the judgments that they make based on somebody's looks. And it's always been such a cool journey for me to get to appreciate these different ways in which people treat you. It's almost like having 2 different lives or 2 different personalities, because people just approach you in such a different manner and have different expectations of you even. I think this is really important, partially because it can make us more aware. It can make us more aware of how we treat other people based on their looks, as we have more compassion for it. Can make us more aware of all the different people that we can be, and the fact that we don't have to be stuck in a specific identity. We don't have to be so attached to the way we look or even the way we act, because it can take many forms, even if we've identified with a specific look for a long time. And all of these specific looks have a lot of good and different aspects to them, and they can be equally empowering and important to learn about. For example, oftentimes I feel that for women who have a buzz cut or shorter hair, people tend to assume that they are more fierce or sometimes more masculine or even stronger, whereas women who have longer hair can be perceived as more soft, more gentle, more feminine, more traditional even. These are just labels, but in the end, the labels that people put on you can really change how they see you and how they treat you. And it can also change what type of energy and what type of personality you embody, as the way that you see yourself and the way that other people see you will shape you in a way. And you will tend to maybe go into some of the expectations that somebody else assumes upon you based on the way that you look. In the end of the day, I think it can be really powerful to shave your head or change your hair in any other way that feels important to you, so that you can find yourself a little bit deeper, so that you can find different aspects of yourself that maybe you haven't explored so much, because we are so easily convinced that we are supposed to be a certain way for other people. But truly shaving or buzz cutting your hair is one of the most dramatic ways that you can break out of society and other people's expectations, and even break out of your own comfort zone, because you are choosing to be so wildly different and choosing to be more aware of your own power than being scared of other people's perceptions. Another big thing I felt when I buzz cut my hair was that I suddenly felt like a baby again, because I felt like there was so much identity tied up in my hair that when I lost it, I felt like everyone could see this aspect of me that was so much more innocent and that was so much more vulnerable, because it was like I had lost this protective shield of my beauty. And even though my facial features are still the same, like I'm saying, there is this societal connection to long hair, and it is a sort of protection. Without it, we are a much more raw form of our own unique beauty, and that can be really scary, but it can also be super empowering again, and it can also be super challenging, both for ourselves and for other people around us. Lastly, I want to go into a little bit about my hair journey afterwards. When I buzz cut my hair, and part of the reason why I did it was because I was curious about a more natural way of taking care of my hair. I had tried pros for a while, and I had had a lot of split ends from dyeing my hair and straightening it a lot. And through the years, it had become really damaged. So when I decided to do a buzz cut, I decided to change my routine dramatically. And that was to not use any shampoo at all, which probably sounds crazy, maybe disgusting, but it is so easy when you have a buzz cut, and truly the water runs through your hair so easily that I really don't think there are any problems with cleaning it, as long as you do like a pretty deep scalp massage. And occasionally in the beginning you will get buildup because your hair is not used to not being shampooed, so naturally it will expect shampoo, but you slowly, it will realize that you're not using as much shampoo on it anymore, so it will recondition itself to create less oils. So for the first 4 or 5 months, I actually used no shampoo until my hair was about this long. And in the beginning, like I said, there was some buildup, but after a while my head just got completely used to it, and it wouldn't stink or anything. There wasn't anything gross or about it. It would require for me to give a good scalp massage and make sure that my hair truly was clean with the water, and that's something you can feel if you try it. After a while, as my hair changed, I decided to change it as well with some addition of new products, and I did some researching for some products that would be good for my hair, because I didn't want to use anything super harsh, as I knew that it would hurt my scalp because it was used to just water for such a long time. So that I ended up getting a all-natural shampoo from a business called Fancy Soaps or something, and it's all natural, and it took a little time for my scalp to get used to it, but it's truly the softest and the most natural soap that I've ever used, and I really love it because I know I'm not putting any dangerous chemicals on my skin and my scalp, which they all get absorbed into our head and eventually into our brain, which is really bad for us. And I really don't want to be putting plastics such as phthalates into my skin or my hair. And since then, it has been 2 years, and I've had several haircuts, but my hair has grown probably at least 12 inches, and it has grown so fast. And every time I see someone that I haven't seen in a couple weeks, they always comment on, "Oh my God, your hair has grown so much again." So that's really nice, and it doesn't have any split ends either at this point, which is amazing because it's really long now. And recently I have been considering maybe adding some type of conditioner, but still to this day, as of right now, I only use some shampoo, and I wash it maybe every 3 to 5 days approximately. And again, it doesn't smell bad. I don't get any severe knots. I don't really get a lot of dryness. And it's only from some natural shampoo and my natural hair oils, which I've built up. Know that if you're interested, this is something that you can do too, and easily start through cutting your hair. So just to finalize this video real quick, my biggest impacts through buzz cutting my hair and why I recommend it would be to restore your natural healthy hair, and also to break through some conditioning about how you're supposed to be as a woman and what you're supposed to look like, and to challenge yourself, and also to open yourself to new possibilities surrounding your own self-expression. Truly, it can also be such an opportunity to release old identities and to grow into a new way of being. So it is a super duper powerful practice, especially if you go into it with the intention of growth and change and exploring yourself. With that being said, I hope you liked this video, and I hope I get to see you soon again. Bye-bye.